Hello everybody! Welcome to today's special Valentine's Live. And I'm going to do a quick YouTube intro because I decided that this video is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia and here on High Value I'm talking about all things consciousness, inner healing, self-love and manifestation. And today we are on Valentine's Day, so we are going to do a Valentine's Day special. And actually I don't know exactly what this means because I just want to answer your questions. And I guess I'm gonna talk about love and self-love, and if you have some questions related to Valentine's Day, then keep them coming because I love answering your questions. Hello everybody. If you want, you can let me know where you're joining from in the comments below. And today's topic is self-love, love, Valentine's Day. So if you have any questions about that, put them in the comments. Actually, I just saw a little video on Instagram where a girl shared that Valentine's Day can sometimes be difficult for many people. And although I think that's not the case for everyone, I think that it is the case for many people. And that's why I thought, you know, let's stress the message of self-love today, because sometimes, you know, Valentine's Day gets hyped up as this huge romantic day, and especially if maybe you're currently going through a heartbreak, or you're currently not feeling so good about yourself, or maybe you have lost the person that you really liked, or maybe you're just broken up with someone, then that day can be quite difficult, especially if you don't know how to get yourself out of that emotional hole. So today let's start by talking about self-love, and if you have other questions that you'd like me to answer about this special day, or about just inner work and self-love in general, or about relationships, then feel free to put them in the comments below. So I'd say let's start with why can Valentine's Day be difficult? And I actually already addressed it very briefly, but if you're in a situation in your life where maybe you're not with someone but you would like to be with someone, I guess, and then Valentine's Day could be a little bit difficult. And I think it's very important to understand that really, if you are in this situation, what this is reflecting back to you is simply that you need to value yourself more, because really this day should be about love. It should be about love and self-love, and it should be a day where, as on every other day, I would love for you to feel loved. And this is an inside job. This is really something that you can take responsibility for, and where you can really allow yourself to make this day about yourself and about feeling loved. And of course, if you're having a special person that you would like to spend this day with, or that you would like to date today, or even just like friends or family, then of course send them a message, share your love with them, and it's going to be circling back to you. But really, this day can be a reminder for yourself that you feeling loved is an inside job. I think that's very important to understand. And then if you really internalize that, then Valentine's Day is just going to be a happy day for you every single year, no matter the situation in your external reality that you're going to be in. Because as soon as you open your heart for yourself, and as soon as you show up for yourself, and as soon as you practice self-love, you're going to know how to make yourself feel loved. And I think I want to talk more about that, but I am looking for the questions that are currently coming in. So Baumik is saying, when we insert in future, how to dissociate from future. Can you make that that question a little more specific, because I'm not sure if I'm understanding you all that correctly. When we insert future, how to dissociate from future. Yeah, maybe specify it, because I don't really get the question. Like, what would you like to dissociate from? Like, your future projection, or what exactly do you mean? Yeah. And on Valentine's Day, you know what this question like reminds me of? We always tell ourselves a story. You can tell a story that makes you feel good about yourself and about the situation in your life, or you can tell a story that makes you feel like shit, basically. And I think today is a day where maybe we are experiencing our own self-talk even more because we're so aware of this romantic day. But let this be your opportunity to actually start to step into your self-talk and start to interrupt those thoughts that are not helping you and start to become more conscious of what you're telling yourself and how you're feeling about yourself, and start to become conscious that you are the creator of your reality and that you are able to create the reality that you desire by starting to create a relationship with yourself that makes you feel loved and desired and special, that makes you feel simply happy with yourself. Because if you have that foundation in your life, it doesn't really matter what goes on externally. It really doesn't matter so much, because you know you can change it and shift it into being a situation that you really like. Yeah, you don't need it on this day necessarily. You for sure don't need it to be happy. Self-love is not taught in schools. That's true. That's the comment from Mr. Jazzer. I like that name. But if humanity shifts, maybe it will be in the future. For sure. I think that self-love is definitely going to be taught in school. I think emotional intelligence is going to be taught in school. And all these topics are very, very important. It might be a little bit sad that it's not yet the case, but I think we as humanity, we are currently realizing how important it is, and I'm very, very sure that in the future it's going to be taught in school because it's just so important. Like, it's the foundation that should be taught in school in first class, I think. So it's actually nothing to be too sad about because it's going to shift and it's going to be taught in future. I'm very sure of that. Baumik asks or says, when we visualized about achieving outcome. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to what you wrote before. I still don't really get the question. So I'm just gonna guess now. When we visualized about achieving outcome. So how to visualize achieving an outcome. Is that the question that you mean? I'm just going to address it very generally because I'm not sure if that's the question that you're actually asking me. But in order to create an outcome in your life, yeah, you can visualize. And what's really important if you want to create a certain outcome through visualizing is that you start to visualize and feel yourself as the person that you want to be. So because it's Valentine's Day, let's say you want to be in a relationship or you want to be with your specific person, then what I would be visualizing is I would be visualizing myself with them, for example, and I would be visualizing the version of myself of them and the version of myself of me that I would be experiencing in my ideal reality. So I would start to feel loved, I would start to feel cherished, I would start to feel whole and complete, and I would start to feel happy with myself, and I would feel the version of myself that is really, really, really happy with herself, and in your case with himself. And I would start to really paint a picture, like emotionally, of how I'm feeling, but also like externally, what is the reality like, what is the person like that I want to be with. And I would start to really allow myself to go into my imagination and start to feel the love and start to feel being cherished that way and start to feel being loved that way. How would that feel like? That's how you create your future. It's by really stepping into it and stepping into that experience. Okay, we insert in future, but how to dissociate with future picture? What do you mean dissociate? Why would you want to dissociate from it? Like, if you're creating it, you want to associate yourself with it, right? So what future picture do you want to dissociate from? Like, I really don't get it. Like, I'm sorry. I hope what I just said is going to answer your question. Yeah, so I actually already addressed how to create the outcome that you desire in your life. But even before you go into manifesting a specific person, manifesting a relationship, manifesting anything that you would like, what I believe is very, very foundational, and what is very foundational, is your relationship with yourself. Because, you know, what we want in our lives can shift, and also the manifestation that we want to have can, you know, it can shift, it can change, and no matter what it is, you really want to make sure that your relationship with yourself is in place, because that's what you're building any manifestation onto. So if you're trying to manifest something in your life, like even a relationship, I would still consider that to be something external. So if you're looking to manifest that relationship, it's really important from my perspective to have that foundation of self-love, because if you don't have that, then you're kind of still buying into the illusion that somebody else is going to come into your life and is going to make you feel better. And I know that we have all been kind of raised to believe that, but it's simply not the way it works. So really putting your attention on yourself and your relationship with yourself is going to help you manifest anything else. Because when you're happy with yourself, things just come in like that, and your life just gets better and better and better. Your relationships get better, because there is no hole that you're trying to fill with something else or with anyone else, and you're kind of like less delusional, because you're kind of grounded within yourself and your focus is already where it needs to be. Because also, if you want to manifest something in, your focus needs to be on yourself, actually. Like, let's say you want that really beautiful relationship. When you're constantly focused on that, you're in a state of lack, and it's still possible to manifest a beautiful relationship. Well, or actually, it's possible to manifest a relationship, but then in that relationship, you're gonna have mirrored back your feelings of lack. Like, that person is probably going to do stuff that is going to trigger you because you're not fully grounded in yourself, and maybe you don't feel that worthy because you don't love yourself. So then that relationship might either dissolve, or it might not go as expected or as wanted, because you need to work on the foundation within yourself. These are my thoughts on it. I mean, you can have a different perspective, that's totally okay. You do what works for you, but these are my thoughts on it. That's why I think self-love is so important. And not only that, like, self-love is important for its own sake. It's just beautiful to love yourself, and from my perspective, it's just a part of really living life and really experiencing life, is that you actually feel happy where you are, and you don't need anyone else to come and complete you. That's just what happens naturally when you're happy. Mr. Jazzer is saying, or asking, my question is, to what extent can trauma be linked to the inability to accept and love oneself in an unconditional way? A good question. Also, could you share any techniques to improve this relationship with self? Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So first of all, let's talk about trauma, and I love this question. I actually was thinking about this the other day. When you're carrying trauma within yourself, then you are, to simplify it, you're having a very strong pattern that brings up unhealthy energy, like an energy that is actually separating you from love. That's what trauma does. It like separates you from love. So if you're traumatized in whichever way, and I'm gonna be very general here, but what this trauma does, it dissociates you from yourself. It dissociates you from your own natural state of being love. At your core, you are love, and that's why self-love comes easy to you. It's because you are love. But when you're traumatized, self-love is going to feel just simply impossible. Like, I know, to my traumatized self, or to my inner part that is traumatized or that was traumatized, self-love just feels like it's not really an option. Like, when you're in that part of yourself, and when that part of yourself comes up, it feels normal to beat yourself up. It feels normal to criticize yourself. It feels normal to feel lonely. It feels normal to feel pain. It feels normal to feel abandoned or disrespected, whatever your patterns are. But I know that for my inner part that was traumatized and that I keep on healing, pain feels so normal that self-love feels out of reach. So yes, totally, trauma can come in the way of you loving yourself as long as you do not take responsibility and as long as you don't have the tools to really love yourself. Once you have the tools, you will build that bridge and you will start to heal that traumatized version of yourself. So this version of yourself is only going to stay stuck as long as you don't take responsibility for it. And I know at the beginning this can feel very difficult. That's why I say, if you are in a lot of pain, definitely seek out help. Definitely start to work with a therapist or with a coach, because if you're really, really, really stuck, then you can really benefit from that support. Well, if you're not all that stuck and if you are realizing, oh, that's my traumatized self, like if you are evolved enough emotionally and if you're strong enough that your trauma is not really robbing your ability to clearly see that, oh, pain is coming up, which also requires some kind of practice and some kind of awareness. But that's really the crucial part. If you're able to see this is pain that's coming up, then this is the great foundation to start doing inner child work, to start showing up for yourself, to start feeling the emotions and start doing techniques that are going to help you to build a bridge from your traumatized self to your own inner self-love. That's just in very general. Now, I have a lot of techniques and tools to start working with that on my YouTube channel. They're also in my Instagram. You can look at my IGTV videos. I'm sharing very specific tools on how to start to take care of your wounded self, start to take care of your inner child. So look at my IGTV videos. I have a lot of them. Look at my YouTube videos. I have a lot of videos in my emotional healing playlist, which is linked in my bio. So head over to my bio, go to the emotional healing playlist, and I'm sharing a lot of tools there. The most important tools that you need are in my YouTube emotional healing playlist. So go check them out, because I don't have time in this video to talk about all of them. But very, very briefly, what you can do and what you need to do in order to heal is you need to start to become aware when pain is arising. And then you need to become very, very present with yourself and do not identify with the pain, but allow yourself to observe what's happening. There are thoughts that are going on, there are emotions that are going on, and there are sensations in your body. And they are coming from a belief system. And you need to start to simply become aware of the story that you're telling yourself and how that makes you feel. Now you want to start feeling it, you want to start being present with it, and then start to show up for that part of yourself that feels hurt. Start being present and start telling him or her or them, start telling them, I'm here, I love you, I hear you. And allow that part to simply come up. Maybe you want to allow your inner child or your wounded self to share. Maybe you want to share out loud to someone else or to yourself what you're feeling and why you're feeling hurt and why pain is coming up. And then just play that back and forth, share what is hurting, and then start to show up for that part. Say, it's okay, I'm here, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here, I'm here to stay, I'm not abandoning you, I love you, I am listening. It's so important what you're sharing with me. Whatever it is that you need to hear in that moment, you're gonna intuitively feel that. For me, I just yesterday did a practice like that where I was showing up for the pain that was coming up for me, and I just said, I'm here, I'm hearing you, I am so sorry that you had to go through this experience, I'm so sorry that this pain keeps coming up, and I just kept on soothing myself. And I do this practice already for a few years, and I'm just evolving in the way that I can meet myself. And the more I did this practice, the better I was able to heal and the better I'm able to handle all of the emotions that are coming up for me. So far that I really am able to transform this inner experience within not so much of time. So when pain is coming up for me, I meet it immediately, and then it starts to transform so that after maybe like 5, 10 or 15 minutes, I feel differently. I do not stay stuck within these emotions. Does it mean that they're never coming up? No, they still come up sometimes. And the more that I meet them, the quicker I can transform them. Now, this is a practice that took me quite some years. So when pain comes up for you, don't be stressed about how long it takes to transform it. Simply start to show up for it. Do not be concerned about the time. Simply start to really hold yourself very tightly. Show up for yourself. Show up for that wounded part of you. And keep reparenting yourself. Keep on telling yourself why you are lovable. Keep on practicing self-love. Keep on being present with yourself. So this technique that I just shared is a technique that you can use when really pain comes up. But sometimes you can also love yourself by simply consciously talking to yourself internally or out loud, and talking to yourself and saying or journaling things that you love about yourself, and tell yourself that you are special, and tell yourself that you are lovable, and tell yourself that you are a unique and special person, and tell yourself that you're beautiful or handsome, and tell yourself all the qualities that are beautiful about yourself. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to learn how to love yourself, and what you like to hear, and what you like to be, and who you like to be, how you'd like to be perceived. And you're going to start to get a feeling for how you want to be treated. And you really allow yourself to be as kind to yourself as you're able to accept. And then in time, you're going to be able to accept more love, and you're going to be able to say things to you that are really kind, and to do things for you that are really beautiful. I could talk about this forever, but basically what you want to do is you want to talk kindly to yourself, and in time you're going to be able to say really high energy, beautiful, self-loving affirmations, and they're going to feel believable to you. You start where you're at, and then you're working your way up until you allow yourself to believe that you're really, how can I say that, the most special person on this planet, not in a sense that compared to somebody else, but simply you are your own priority, and you are the priority of the people in your life. You are mutually prioritized in your relationship, and you are prioritizing yourself. All right, that was a rant right there. Are there any other questions? If you have any other questions on self-love, feel free to put them in the comments now, or I'm also going to upload this video on my YouTube channel, and then you can simply watch it there, and you can comment there, and I'm happy to answer your comment also if you are posting it after the video is uploaded to my channel. And as I said, you wanna look out for my emotional healing playlist, because I have a lot of practices that I'm sharing there about how to love yourself. And I also have videos on my YouTube channel about affirmations and how to use them in a way that will actually help you and will actually work for you. Alright, and now I'm wishing you a beautiful Valentine's evening. Thank you so much for being here. Remember that you are worthy, even if right now you can't really feel that because for whichever reason you're in pain or you're not feeling great about yourself. Remember that this emotion will pass, and it's just an emotion, it's just a story that you're telling yourself, and you deserve to really feel loved. And if you keep on doing the inner work, if you keep on diving within yourself and within your own consciousness, you're going to be able to change that self-talk, to change those emotions, to heal them, and then finally to build a new self-talk that is based on self-love. You deserve this, no matter what your mind is telling you. It's not the truth. If you don't feel love, then this is not the truth. The truth is that you are deserving of love. Alright, now thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.